Hello and welcome. I'm Raghav, and this session is going to be very interesting because we are going to go beyond the basics in Git. So we have already learned what is Git, how do we use it, how do we start, how do we install Git, how do we start Git on a project folder, and then how do we run all the Git commands, Git push, Git pull, Git commit, Git stage, and the basic commands. How do we connect our local repository to the remote repository, and how do we make connections between these two repositories, and all these basic things that we have done. Now this session is going to go beyond these basics, and this is all going to be real scenario based, so this is going to be very interesting. So we will understand and see how do we handle scenarios. Let's say two developers are working on the same file and at the same part of the file, and when they merge their changes, what happens? What if there is a conflict? How do Git resolves merge conflicts, and what will happen after that, and how do we resolve these merge conflicts? What happens if you accidentally delete a file and then you have committed and pushed your changes and everything is now gone? How can you recover those deleted files or your deleted work? Can you commit only a part of the file that you are working on? Let's say you have made several changes in a file, but now you want to only pick some particular change and want to commit it. What if you want to take a particular commit from a branch and then push only that change to the main branch and nothing else? What if you are working on some branch and you suddenly got a production issue, and now you have to switch back to the main branch and work on it, and then switch back to your feature branch? Then where is your work? How do you get back your work? And all these kind of real world scenarios. So this is going to be very interesting, and this is going to be a complete hands-on session along with quizzes. So please do hands-on with me, and whenever you face any issues, please let me know in the comment section, or if you have any general issue as well, I will reply to all your comments. Okay, so let's get started. Let us very quickly see the topics we are going to do. So we are going to do a demo on Git merge. How do we do Git merge, and how do Git merge helps us? How can Git help to automatically resolve conflicts, and when will Git tell us that you have to manually resolve the merge conflicts? How can we commit only a part of a file? How do we recover accidentally deleted files? And here we will also learn how can we recover any accidentally deleted work on any of the files, and how to copy a specific commit from one branch to another. So let's say you have made multiple commits, but you want to pick just a specific commit. Then how can we identify who last modified any line of a file? So sometimes there is some issue happening after a release, something breaks, and now you want to check what exactly happened, who modified, what was the part of the file that got modified, what was changed. So how do we find out that? How can we discard local uncommitted changes in one or more files? How can we move back to an earlier point in history using Git reset? And how do we recover lost commits? So these are the scenarios we are going to understand, and we will do practical hands-on sessions. So let's get started, and let us see the very first demo. Here we will learn how we can do fast forward merge, or how Git actually manages these merge changes when there is no conflict. So let's start by creating a new folder and initialize it with Git using Git init command. So I will go here on my system, and let's say I will go to my D drive, and I will create a new project here or new folder here. So you can just say, I will say my projects, and inside this I will create another folder. You can go to new folder, or you can press Ctrl plus Shift plus N key on your keyboard to create a new folder, and I will call this as Git demo project. So this is the project folder that we are going to use. So basically when I say project folder, it is just a folder where you can imagine that this is your project folder where you will be having all your work, and this will be managed by Git. And to make it as a Git folder or have Git track this folder, I will open this folder in terminal or command prompt. You can do a right click and open in terminal, or you can just copy the project folder location from here. Just copy this and let's go to our command prompt. You can use your terminal, your git bash. If you are on Mac, you will go to terminal. Let me just show you very quickly. I will go here. This is my Mac and I will open terminal here. So this is where you will work. If you are on Mac or Linux also, you can work on terminal, and on Windows you can work either on command prompt or git bash. So I hope you remember in the earlier sessions we have seen that once you install git, you also get git bash, which is a terminal for git. You can do a right click and you can say git bash here. That will also work. Or let me just go with the common normal command prompt. Okay, so I am on my command line. Now I have to first change the location to the location of my folder. So because command prompt is on C and our folder, in my case it's on D, so first I will change the drive by saying D colon, hit enter, and now I will say CD to change directory and space and paste. So on command prompt you can just do a right click to paste. That should work, and this is my folder, and now I am on my folder. Now just to make it as a git folder or make git track this, I will say git init. So I will just say here git init, and as soon as I will hit enter, you will see that it will generate a hidden folder .git inside this folder, and that generally means that now this is being tracked by Git. And just in case you do not see this hidden folder, you can always go to view and say show hidden items. In case it is not checked, you can check that and you should see this. So this is just optional, just to tell you that you will have this generated in the folder. Alright, now let's create a feature branch and check out the feature branch. So I will first just say git status and everything is clean, nothing to commit. Now I will say git branch to check. So as of now there is nothing here. So let us just first add something on the main branch, or then we will switch to a new branch. So let's create a new file. I will create a text file and call it as demo1.txt, and I will just say this is a demo file, and save and close this file. And if I now let me also use the large thumbnails. Yeah, this is good. Alright, I can now also say git status, and yes, we have untracked changes. So to stage these changes, I will say git add, and I can either just give the file name demo1.txt. So I just set de and press tab to autocomplete, or just say git add dot to stage all the changes. And if I say git status now, it is ready to be committed. I will say git commit -m and give a commit message added demo.txt. Alright, and this is done. And also if I want to check my commit history, I will say git log, and you can see we have got a single commit. This is the commit ID, and this is the author, date, and details of our commit message. Or I can also say git log --1 line to see a concise history, and it will now show a concise history in a single lines. Now this is very useful, this command, because as of now we just have a single commit, but in general we will have lots of commits and then just to see each commit in a single line, this will really help. Alright, and if I say git branch, so you can see I am on my master branch. Okay, so now I will switch to a new branch. I will call it as feature 1. Now either you can just say git branch feature 1 and then the branch will be created, and then to check out or switch to the branch you will say git checkout feature 1, or to create and switch to the branch in a single command we can say git checkout -b feature 1, or we can also say git branch -c feature 1. This is the branch name, this can be anything, whatever you want to keep. So both commands will work. I will say git checkout -b feature 1. Okay, and this is done, and you can see switch to the branch. If I say I'm pressing the up arrow to go to the last commands, if I run git branch, you can now see now I am on the feature branch. Alright, now let us create a new file here. So now you can see our local directory, our local repository is now on the feature branch. So whatever I do here now will go in the feature branch and not in the master branch unless and until we merge the feature branch to the master branch. So I will create a new file here, merge demo.txt. You can call it anything, and I'll add something here. This file is created in feature 1 branch, and close it. And of course we have added some comments, we have added some content, and we will stage and commit the changes. So I will say git add git, let me just say git status just to check we have changes to be added. Yes, now git add dot and git commit -m and a message added merge demo.txt. Now see, these commit messages are very important. Always add meaningful messages because this will be shown in the commit history in the log, and it will help us to identify what exactly you did in this particular commit. Okay, so I will say enter, and if I now go and check git status, everything is done. Okay, now we have committed the changes. Let us now switch back to our main branch. So if it is main, you will say git checkout main. If it is master, you will say git checkout master. So in my case the branch is master, so I will say git checkout master. Now also observe here, as soon as I will hit enter, you will see that this file will no longer be there, because once we have switched to the master branch, this file is not there. So let's see, I will hit enter, and you can see the file is now gone from here. Okay, now just to confirm I am on the master branch, I will just run the command git branch, and yes, I am on the master branch here. Okay, now I will say git merge feature 1 branch. So we will merge the feature branch to the master branch, and make sure to merge the feature branch, you should be first checked out to master branch. You should have switched to the master branch, and now I will say git merge feature 1. Whatever is your branch name, you can do that, you can put that, and as soon as I will hit enter, you will observe here we will get that file in the master branch as well. So I will hit enter, and you can see merge demo.txt has come here, and this is if you observe the message, it says fast forward. Okay, so because there were no conflicts, the file itself did not was not already there in the master branch, so there was no conflict, no issues. It just merged without any problem. So this was a fast forward merge. Okay, also now if you run the git log command, or I will say git log hyphen hyphen one line and hit enter, so you can see here this was the first commit and this is the commit that we did in feature branch, and it has now come to the master branch as well. Okay, and you can see these are the commit messages. So this is very important, as I said, to put meaningful commit messages. Okay, and head is our current commit or the last commit. So our head is always on our last commit. We will understand these concepts in a moment, but for now you can now see here we have done merging without any conflict, and this was a fast forward merge. Also, if you run this command git log one line and say hyphen hyphen graph, so let's see what happens. Yeah, so you will see here everything is fine. Now see, this command showing the graph will be very useful when you have lots of commits and lots of history, so you can actually see some graph lines here. I will show you this again when we have some good commit history. As of now we just have 2 commits, so it is not much to show here, but then you will see this as well. So I can also say hyphen hyphen all, and yeah, still because we don't have a lot of commits we are not seeing the graph lines here. Okay, now you can now see this was a commit without any issues, fast forward commit, fast forward merge, no conflict. Now let us see another demo where Git will do a automatic merge, which is also called as the ORT strategy, and here also there is no conflict, so it will do it automatically without we have to manually checking what is the conflict and resolve it. So let's imagine 2 branches modify different parts of the project. Now because they have modified different parts, when we combine them, when we merge them, there should not be any conflict, and Git should be able to automatically combine the changes and create a merge commit. Okay, so let's create a feature branch and check out to the branch. I will say, let me clear this. I will say git checkout -b feature 2. Now let me call it as feature 2. We have already used feature 1. Okay, and if I say git branch, I am on my feature 2 branch. Now let us create a new file and commit it. So now our working directory is on feature 2 branch. I will just create a new file here. I will call it as login.txt and open and say this is created in feature 2 branch, and save it. I will say git status, and I will say git add to add the changes or stage the changes, and git commit to commit the changes. Everything is done, and if I again hit the up arrow on my keyboard to go to the earlier command git status, everything is fine now. Okay, now we will switch back to our main or the master branch. I will say git checkout master, and just to confirm I will run git branch. I am on the master branch, and here I'm going to create another file, a new file, and commit it. So let's say I'm going to create a file here, text file. I'll call it as search.txt and add something created in master branch. Okay, and I will say git status, git add dot and git commit added search.txt. okay, and everything is fine here. We have a clean working tree. Okay, now let us merge the feature branch. So I will say I'm on the master branch, so I will say git merge feature, and our branch name is feature2. So let's do this, and now you can see here I'm getting this option to enter a commit message to explain why this merge is necessary, especially if it merges an updated upstream into a topic branch. Okay, so here whatever you want to type or add, you can add here. So press I on your keyboard, so you will go in the insert mode, and then you can type your command. I will say merging branch feature2, and of course you should give some more details why you are merging it, what did you do in real world. You can add meaningful messages here, and after that you can press escape and press colon and say W Q to write and quit and hit enter, and we are now here and merging is done. And now here you can see login.txt that we created in our feature branch has also come here. Okay, so it has come here, and now if you see here you will find the message merge made by ORT strategy. Okay, so this means it is not a fast forward merge. So fast forward merge is very clean merge because there is no issues, no conflicts. You are using the parts you are changing are completely different. Let's say in the earlier demo we have created a file which was not at all there, and after coming back to the master branch we did not make any change to the master branch, we just did the merge, so it was very clean, no conflict. But this time after coming back to the master branch we again did some changes, and now Git will check and decide if it can do the merging without any manual intervention, and it decided yes, because they were two different files that we were working on in two different branches. Therefore it did the merge using the ORT strategy. Okay, so you can see this, and of course if I say, so this is what happened here, and this ORT stands for ostensibly recursive twin, and I'm not going to do very deep into what it is and why it is used, but in simple words, when you try to merge a branch when you try to merge two branches and you have changes made in both the branches, Git will check and decide that if there was any change to the same part or the same reference point by two branches. If not, if the changes that were done in both the branches are completely separate from each other, then it will check and then finally do a automatic merge. Otherwise it will create a conflict and ask us to resolve the conflict manually. Okay, so that is the ORT strategy. Okay, and of course if I run the command git log, let me see where is that command. Yeah, if I run this command, now you can see there is some graphs you can check here. Okay, so this was here, we added this in a feature branch, then we added this, then we added this in feature2 branch. So you can see these are you can see here we have these branches, and then we are merging these branches. So you can see it is going from master, we are creating branches and then merging back to master, and now this is what we have all these commits and we have done this merge as well. Alright, so this is done. Now let us see a demo where both branches modify the same line in the same file. Okay, so this is where we will get a merge conflict. So let's create a file in the main or the master branch. So I am on the main branch. I will create a new file. I'll call it employee.txt and I will add some data here. Okay, I will say employee management system and commit. Okay, so see, what we are going to do is we are going to change the same line of the same file in different branches, and then we will see what will Git do when we try to merge. So save it and commit. I will say git status, and yes, we have uncommitted changes. I will first stage the changes, then I will say git commit and -m the message. I will say created employee.txt, and if I run git status, everything is clean. Okay, now let's create and switch to a new branch. So in case you want, you can use any of your existing branches if you don't want to create a lot of branches. So let me just use one of my existing branches. In that case, I will just say git, let's say if I say git branch, we have these branches, feature 1, feature 2. I will say git checkout, and I'm not using -b because I don't want to create a new branch. Otherwise you can use that, and I just want to switch to my feature 1 branch. Okay, and if I run git branch now, I am on my feature 1 branch. Alright, now you can see here you don't have those changes that you have done now on the main branch or the master branch. So I think instead of again switching back, or I will first have to switch this with the main branch and then finally switch it back to this branch. So let me just say git checkout master, and now let me just, instead of doing that extra step, I will create a new branch and check out to that branch. I will say git checkout feature, this time I will call it as 3. Okay, so this will go to a check out a new branch, create and switch to a new branch. Okay, and I'm on my feature 3 branch now. Okay, so now because it is a new branch, it has taken everything that we have on our master, and now I am going to modify the same file and the same line in this branch, and I will open this employee.txt, and let's say instead of employee I will call it as HR management system. Okay, and save, and I will say git status, and let's commit it, git add dot git commit -m, and I will say updated employee.txt. Alright, now I will switch back to the main branch or master branch. I will say git checkout master, and I'm on master now. Okay, and now let's see what happens. So I'm on master, so if I now check my employee.txt, it still has employee here, not HR, because we have not yet merged the changes. But before merging the changes, I'm going to modify the same line again in my master branch as well. So this time I'm going to change it from employee to payroll. Okay, although still the conflict will happen, because even if I don't do this, because still there are changes on the same line, but just to make sure that two different people are working and they are changing the same part of the same file, I am mimicking a real world scenario. So let's do this, and I will commit these changes, git add git commit updated employee.txt, and this is done. Now let us try to merge and see what happens. So I will say, let me just say first git branch, and this is the feature 3 branch I want to merge with master branch. So I will say you should be on the master branch, and now say git merge and the branch name feature 3. Okay, now you can see it was trying to auto merge, but there are some conflict. So there are merge conflict in employee.txt. Automatic merging has failed. So git informs us, fix the conflict manually and then commit the result. Now, how do we know where are the conflicts? So for that, open the file and git will create these head and all these conflict markers. These are called conflict markers. So it will tell us that this is what we have in this branch, and then this is coming from the branch that you are trying to merge, which is feature 3 branch. So this is what feature 3 branch has done to this particular line, and this is what you have in this branch. So what do you want now? Fix it and then commit the final change. Okay, and this is obvious that Git was not able to resolve because Git does not know which change to keep. You are changing the same part of the same file, the same line, the same reference. So Git will not know what to keep and what to discard. So it will just tell you that there are merge conflicts and you have to resolve it. And it has also generated these conflict markers. So now you can discuss with the developers. You can always check who did those changes by saying git log, or to see I will press Q to come out, and then I will say git log -- one line, and you can see all these. So we are working on employee.txt. So this was created here in the master branch, that is fine, and then you have also updated this in the master branch, and now you see here that this change was done in the feature branch. So if you want, you can switch to feature branch, feature 3 branch, again run git log and see who did what change, and then discuss with the developers or the users or the teams who have done these changes, and then decide which is what you have to keep, and then you can finally remove these markers. So these are the conflict markers. Remove these markers, and then finally whatever is you think is the right data here, save and commit that. So now I will say git status, git add, git commit -m, and I will say resolved merge conflicts in employee.txt, and done. And here I will say git status. Now everything is clean, and if I now run the command git log one line, now you can see here resolve merge conflicts, and this is our final commit. Okay, and you can also see that we have got everything here. Now feature 3 branch is also added here. We have commit history for everything, and now we have got this done. Okay, so see, this is something that is very common in real world, because let's imagine that there is a huge project and a lot of developers, a lot of users are working on the same project, and they have their copies in their local folder, in their local systems, and they are working on that. And it can happen that multiple people are working on the same file, it can be a coding file, configuration file, and then somebody has done some change and pushed the changes, committed and pushed the changes. Now the other person is also working on the same file, on the same line, on the same reference point. When he or she tries to commit and push, Git will say that there are some issues. You have to first pull because there are some new changes in the repository. So first pull from the remote. So you will say pull, and then when you will try to commit, you will see there are some conflicts, merge conflicts, and then you can again fix those conflicts and then commit and push the final change. Okay, so this is very common and real world scenario. All right, now we have seen what happens when only one branch changes. So there is no issues. Git can do a fast forward merge. What happens if both branch change different things, and when you try to merge, still Git will do a automatic merge using the ORT strategy. And what happens if both branches change the same thing, and then when you try to merge, there is a merge conflict that you have to resolve manually and then finally commit the final change. All right, so here is a quiz, and I will keep this link of the quiz in the description of this video. And it is very important that you take this quiz, because that will not just check your practical knowledge. I am hoping that you are doing hands-on along with me. So please follow these sessions along with hands-on, and then only you will understand what exactly is done, and then you will also have some good questions for me as well. So please do hands-on and then take this quiz. So this is not just will help you to check your understanding, but will also act as a refresher and a summary of what all we have done. So these quizzes are exactly based on the topics and the sessions we are doing. Okay, so I'll keep this link in the description. And also, after doing the quiz, please let me know your score in the comment section. Okay, now let's see what happens when you want to stage and commit only selected changes within the same file. So let's say you have a file and you have made multiple changes in the file. Now you want to only pick up some particular change and commit those change and not the other ones. So can you do that with Git? Let's see a scenario. So let's say you are modifying a file and you have made two changes in the file. Now one change is related to a bug fix and the other change is a new feature. So you are doing a bug fix, and also in the same file you are creating a new feature which is still in progress and not ready. Now you just want to commit the bug fix part which is completed and ready. So what you have to do, and how does Git help us doing this? Okay, so let's say let us create a file demo.txt. So I will say I will create a new file here, and I will call it demo.txt, and I will add something, let's say login module, user validation, password validation. So you can imagine it's like some code file where we have different modules: login, user name validation, password validation, and that's it. Okay, let me call it a small module. So you can add some data just for this demo. So let's save this file and commit it. So I will say git status git add dot git commit -m added demo.txt. Okay, now here we are going to modify two different lines in the file. Okay, so let's say some part is related to bug fix, and then we are also adding a new feature, let's say forgot password. So I will say here there was some bug fix, so I will say fixed bug here. So see here I'm just typing this. In real world it is maybe a code file where you have done some bug fix in this particular code part, and then I will say here there is some new feature, let's say forgot password feature, which we have added now. I will say forgot password feature. I will just say in progress. Now see here, we are doing this change and we are going to commit it in a single commit. We are going to stage and commit in a single commit. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to save it and I will say, let me just run git status and git add, and then I will say git commit -m, and I will say no, I will have to say, let us say I will go here. So I will have to actually, after git status, I will have to only stage a part of the file. So I will say here, after changing this, I will not stage everything but only a part. So for that I will say git add -p. So let me just try this again, or let me say, I can say git restore. If I say git status, it is already staged. You can see it is in the green, that means already staged, but I want to bring it back from staging area. I will say git restore -- staged and give the file name demo.txt. Now don't worry on these commands, we have not learnt it yet. I will show you all this. So I'm just trying to restore, and if I now say git status, you can see my file has again gone to the unstaged changes area or unstaged area. Okay, now to stage it, instead of saying git add dot or git add file name, I'm going to say git add -p. So -p is for partial staging. So let's see what happens. I will say here git add -p, hit enter. Now you can see here we are getting the changes that we have done in the file. So this is the first change where we changed this and we said fixed bug, and this is the other change where we added this forgot password feature. Okay, now here sometimes Git will take these two changes separately and will show you 1 of 2, 2 of 2, 3 of 2, like that. Okay, but a lot of times it will take both of these changes or any number of changes that you have done in the file as a single change, because we have done all these changes at once. So Git is taking this as a single change or a single modification, but we want to split it. We want to split these modifications. So we will say, in case you want to stage this, because we are just seeing one change, you can say yes. If you want to don't want to stage it, you can say no, but we want to split first and then decide. So we will say S means is to split. So I will say S here and hit enter, and you can now see we have got two different changes. First it is showing me the first change, which is 1 of 2, and now we can decide, do we want to stage it or not stage it, and we have other options as well. And then I will say yes, I want this because this is a bug fix part. I will stage this. I said yes. Now it is showing me the other change, the next change or the next modification, which is 2 of 2, and now again asking us, do you want to stage this change? This I don't want. I will say N and hit enter, and now you can see. Now the interesting thing, we have already done what we wanted. We wanted one change to be staged and one to not to be staged, or the other one not to be staged. We have done that. If I say git status, now let's see what happens. So you can see this is an interesting thing. The same file is now shown as staged and the same file is shown as unstaged, and we know why, because in the same file there are more than one changes. We have staged one change and we have not staged the other change. That means there are still work in this file that is yet to be staged and committed. Therefore we are seeing this file in both the unstaged and the staged area. Alright, so we have done this. If both edits are shown together, press S to split, and we have done that. And then Git shows us all the changes one by one, and we can decide what we want to do, whether we want to stage or not. And then we have ran git status to check, and I will commit. So now only what we have staged will go to commit. I will say git commit -m and will say bug fix added. Alright, now if I say git status, you can see the change that we have not yet staged and we are working on is still there. So I can complete that part as well, and once it is done, I can again stage and commit this one as well. So I will say git add dot and then git commit -m. I will say feature added in demo.txt, and if I say git status now, everything is clean. Alright, so this is how we can commit only a part of the file. Alright, okay, so the options that we got when we were doing this partial commit. So Y is to stage the displayed change. So whatever Git is displaying, if you want to stage it, you say Y. N is to not to stage the displayed change. S is to split the changes into smaller hunks that we have already seen. Q is to quit patch mode, and question mark is to show help. E is to manually edit the patch. So these are the options we generally use, and mostly we use these three options. S only when we have to split into smaller changes hunks. Yes is to stage, N is to not stage. So if you want, you can try other options and let me know in the comments if you face any issues. Okay, so now let us see how can we recover accidentally deleted files, and here we can also use the same strategy to recover accidentally deleted changes or data in a file. Okay, and this will work at a file level. So let's create a file. So we already have login.txt. Let us continue using it. Okay, so this we have here. Now we will add some data and stage and commit this. I will say using this to check Git restore recover accidentally deleted changes. Okay, let's save it, and I will also commit and push. So git status, git add and git commit -m. I will say modified login.txt. Okay, now we are going to delete the file. So we are mimicking a scenario where we accidentally delete a file. Okay, now you can try this also for something like you have deleted some data in the file. Instead of deleting the complete file, if you have deleted some data in the file and then you run the next commands we are going to learn, it will work for that as well. but let us see a demo of completely deleting a file. So I am deleting this file. You can see login.txt is gone from here. Okay, now let us see what happens if I say git status. You will see we have deleted this file. Now we have not yet staged or committed this change. So what happens? So Git forgotten the file. So no, Git always remembers the last committed version. And now to recover the changes or recover lost file, I will say git restore login.txt. So I will say git restore login.txt, and let's see what happens. I will hit enter and you can see the file has come back here. Okay, so we have got the file here. Okay, and we can try this same command for one more thing. That is, let's say we accidentally deleted some data in the file and we save the file. Okay, and I will save the file. Now if I say git status, you can see it says something is modified here, but I have not yet staged the changes. I will just say git restore and the file name. So let's see what happens. So I have done this, and now if I go and check login.txt, you can see the data that we deleted has come back. So it recovers the file, in the sense even if you delete the file or you do some changes, it will recover it. This is the git restore command. Okay, now here let us see the scenarios. The first scenario that we just saw is we deleted the file but did not stage it. In that case, recovery is very easy. We just say git restore and the file name. What if we deleted the file and also staged it? So after deleting, we also said git add dot, that means we staged the change. In that case, if you have to restore, you will say -- staged and then give the file name and then again run git restore command. So let us see if I delete this file login.txt and if I say git status, you can see it is deleted, and I will also stage it. I will say git add dot. Now to recover, I will say git restore. I will have to now say -- staged, because I want to restore from the staged area, and what I want to restore is login.txt. Okay, now after running this, you can see I have still not got my login.txt file here. Now it has come back from the staging area but still not here in the working directory. So I will again run the command git restore login.txt, and now you will see I have got back my file here. Okay, scenario 3, you have deleted the file or you have deleted some data in the file, staged the changes and also committed it. How we can recover now? So in this case, we can still recover, because as I told you, Git will remember all the older commits and it keeps a history until it is garbage collected. It will maintain the history, and by default for 90 days it will keep it. So here we will first run the command git log, or you can say git log one line, and we will then see the commit ID where we had that particular file. So if I say, I will run the command, I will say git log -- one line, and this will show me all the commit history, and for every commit we have got this unique ID. It is a SHA number. Now we can see any earlier commit where we had login.txt. Okay, so we know, if we know that we deleted it at this commit, so this commit will have that file. We will just copy this. You can press enter to copy from command prompt, and then you can just say git restore -- source and give the commit ID. Let me just show you. So if I say git status, everything is fine. I will just I will delete this file, and if I again run git status, we have deleted this file, and I will also stage this change and as well commit it. I will say git commit -m. Now see here, although I am saying deleted the message, but in real world it is something that you have accidentally deleted. You may not even know that you have deleted the file, and you will just give some commit message based on whatever work you are committing. But here I will say, just for this demo, deleted login.txt. okay, and this is done. If I now say git log one line, so you can see this is the latest commit where the file is deleted, but before this the file should be there. So I will just copy this commit ID, and I will say git restore, and I will say source equals this commit, and I will say the file which is login.txt, and this should restore the file from this particular commit and bring it back. Now instead of this ID, commit ID, you can also say head -1 or head -2. So see, head is always at our last commit. So this is, you can refer to this commit by this commit ID or just say head. Then this is head -1, so you can refer this commit by this commit ID or say head -1. This is head -2, so you can refer this with the commit ID or head -2. So that means if I have to go to this commit, I can say this ID or head -1. So even if I say, instead of a commit ID, I say head -1. Now see, we say head -1, but we use this symbol. This is the tilde symbol. This key is at the top left corner of your keyboard, just below the escape key. So you can use this as well. Okay, and if I hit enter, so just see what happens. I hit enter and I have got our login.txt back from that commit, and you can see everything is fine. Okay, so this is how you can use it. You can use like this. So basically we have to give the source and the commit from where we have to get it. We can refer to the commit by its commit ID or by using head -1, head -2, and so on, and then give the file name that you want to restore. Alright, so this is how we recover deleted files or deleted data in files. Okay, now scenario 4, you have deleted commit and also pushed it to a remote repository. Okay, what happens in that case? So once you do that, still you can recover, because your remote repository, whether it is GitHub or Azure or Bitbucket, it will keep a history. And also because Git is a distributed version control system, it will also keep the entire project history on your local system, and from here you can go to any of the previous commits and get back the file from any of the previous commits. Okay, now Git, as I told you, is a distributed version control system. That means every team member or every developer or every user that we have in the team will have the complete copy of the project on their local systems. Okay, so if anything happens on any other system, or even at the on the cloud repository where it is hosted and the repository, our remote repository is, still there is no issue, because every person has a local copy of their complete project along with the complete history, all the commit history and everything. And also, to work locally with their project using Git, we do not have to be connected to the internet. We need an internet connection only when we have to push our changes to the remote repository. But as long as we are working on our local repository, on our local working directory, we don't need any network connection. So that is why Git is called as a distributed version control system. Okay, so this is in case of you have also pushed the changes, then still you can use this command git restore and say --source, give your old commit ID and then give the file name. So this will work even if you have pushed your changes to remote. Okay, and if you want, you can also use Git Revert in case you do not want, your goal is not to delete commit while preserving history. Your goal is to undo the deletion commit which we want because we want to restore while preserving the history. In that case, you can do Git Revert. Don't worry about this Git Revert as of now. We are going to learn this as well, but as of now we understand how we can recover accidentally deleted files or changes in a file by using Git Restore. All right, so the commands we have learned for merging, we know we use git merge and the branch name, and to check merge conflicts we can run git status, which will show us if there are any merge conflicts. Although whenever we merge and there are conflicts, Git will tell us, and if you want we can again run git status. Okay, to stage particular changes from a file we use git add -p, and then to split those changes into smaller chunks we use S for split, and then we can decide which change to stage and which to not. To restore deleted file or to restore deleted data from a file we use Git Restore, and we have also seen in case we have just deleted data or file and have not yet staged, we just say Git Restore and the file name. If we have staged, we also use the option -- staged here along with Git Restore and give the file name. And if we have also restored, we have also staged, committed, and also we have pushed the changes, then we say git restore and -- source and give the commit ID from where we want to restore the file and give the file name. And this is what we have already seen. To restore stage selection, we do this. All right, now let us see a very interesting demo. Let's say you are doing some changes in a new branch, in a feature branch, and now you want to pick some particular commit from that feature branch and merge to the main branch. So you don't want to merge the complete branch because you may be working with several things on the feature branch. It can be a bug fix, it can be a new feature creation, and you have already committed the bug fix, and for the feature creation you have done some commits but it is still in progress. You just want to pick the bug fix commit from the feature branch and merge it with the main branch. So in that case we use git cherry pick. It is very interesting. So let's say you are working on your feature branch and it contains a bug fix which is completed and ready, and a new feature which is still in progress, and you say let's say there is a scenario that your bug fix has to go into production today. So if you merge the complete branch with the main branch, it will not work because in your feature branch you are still working on the new feature but the bug fix is ready. So you just want to pick up the commit with the bug fix from the feature branch, merge it with the main branch, and you can do this with cherry pick. Let's do a demo. So let's create a file and add some content and commit it. So here I will say I'll create a new file. I will call it project1.txt. You can call it anything, and I will say this is a demo project file and save it. Okay, and I will also going to commit it. So I will say, so just to confirm, I'm on my main or my master branch. I will say git status, and this is there. We also have this earlier login.txt. We have made some changes, so that's fine. I'm just going to stage all this by saying git add dot and then git commit -m added project1.txt file and git status. Everything is clean. All right, now let us check out a feature branch. So I will say git checkout -b feature, I will call it feature project 1. Okay, it is done. If I run git branch, I am on my feature branch, and now my working directory is on my feature branch. Now I will make 2 separate commits in this feature branch. First I will do a bug fix, and just to mimic this scenario, I am going to commit a file called bugfix.txt. So I'm going to create a file and call it bugfix.txt. In the file I can just say here is the fix ready, and I'm going to commit it. So git status git add dot and git commit -m bug fix done. Okay, and git status, it's all done. Now I'm going to do another commit where I'm going to mimic that I am working on some new feature, let's say dashboard. So I'm creating a file dashboard.txt, and I will call that working on the new dashboard feature, and save it, and I'm going to commit this as well. So I will say git add dot and git commit -m, and I will say let's say added module 1 in dashboard.txt. So this is still in progress, but I am making one commit. Okay, if I say git log -one line, you can see here we have got this 2 commits done in this branch. Okay, now let us say we have already seen the commit history. Now let us say we will take one particular commit. So we have got all our commits. Now make sure that these 2 should have been done in separate commits, because git cherry pick will pick up the commit, not the files or not the lines. So that's why we have done these 2 separate commits. I'm going to take this commit. So copy this commit ID. You can hit enter. They should be copied, or let me keep it in a notepad. Okay, and we can switch back to our main branch. So I will say git checkout main or master, and I am on my master branch. Okay, now we will pick only a particular commit from the feature branch and merge it with our main branch, and for that we use git cherry pick. We will say git cherry pick, and we'll give only the commit ID of that commit that we want to merge. So this is git space -cherry -pick space the commit ID. So let's see, and you can also see here, as of now in my main branch I do not have any of those files that I created in my feature branch, bugfix or dashboard.txt. So you can observe what happens here when I say git cherry pick and paste the commit ID. Okay, now I will hit enter, and you will see here what happens. So as I hit enter, you will see bugfix.txt has come, but dashboard.txt has not come. So only that change or only that commit is merged. All right. You can also run the command git log one line, and you can now see here we have got only this bug fix commit added to our master. Okay, so this is again a very common real world scenario where you want to pick up a specific commit from a feature and merge with your main branch and do not want to merge anything else. So in real world, this is a very common thing. As we check out branches and do work on that, what is ready, we just want to merge that, and what is not ready, we do not want to merge that. Okay, so always remember this command git cherry pick will be very useful. Okay, so we already know git merge brings all the commits from another branch, git cherry pick brings only the specific commit that we choose. Okay, again there is a quiz. So this is based on what we have done now, and this will be a very much practical quiz. Please take this quiz and let me know your score in the comment section. Let us now go to the next topic and demo, which is Git Blame. Now whenever you want to identify that who has changed the last who has changed any particular line of a file, and when what is changed, who has changed it, what was the line earlier, what exactly was the commit ID, anything, you can use Git Blame. Now see, this name looks a little bit negative, that like we are blaming somebody, but in real world you can imagine that, let's say you are running your playwright tests and the test suddenly starts failing. Now you open the test and notice there is some change done by somebody on this particular line which has changed this ID or something which is breaking the tests, and you wonder who changed this locator. And instead of asking everyone in the team, because see, in real projects there will be so much of changes happening every time with everyone making some changes, so instead of going and checking with everyone, and even the person who has done it may not remember that when he did, what exactly did he do. So instead of doing all that, you can just run the command git blame, and then you will come to know what has happened. Okay, so let's assume we already have some files and some we have already committed, and we have commit history, which is true. We have a lot of commit history now. So let's first say git log online, and we have already executed this. We have this here. Okay, so now I will say git blame and give some particular file name, or if you want you can also take some particular commit ID. So from this log, so see, when we see the log, we can just say git log and we can see the details about every commit. Okay, so you can see this will show us all the commit and details about every commit. But if it is a long commit history, in that case I will press Q to come out, and in that case you can just say git log with the option -- one line. So every log, every commit history is shown in a single line with the commit ID and the commit message and details. In case you are on a different branch, it will show you. We have already seen we can use graph and graph all options, so that will also show us, I think. Okay, that will also show us these graphs lines in case you want to check that. So this is to see all the history. Now here you can either check when was this file modified and take that particular commit ID, or if you just want to check that this has happened on a particular file, you can just give the file name. So I will say git blame and some particular file. Let's say I will say git blame login.txt. Okay, now all the changes in this file, whatever we have changed, whenever we have changed, everything will come here. So as of here, because we have not done a lot of changes, we are just seeing two things here. So this is done here by this author at this particular time, and this was when this file was created in the feature 2 branch, so this is fine. Then in this particular commit by this particular author at this particular time, this was using this to check git restore, recover accidentally deleted changes. So we can see 2 of these changes. You can take any other file as well. Let's say if I say let me just say employee.txt. Here also you can see we have these changes, 2 changes here. This was changed to HR management system by this author at this time at this particular commit ID, and this change as well. Now after checking this, now then you can say git show and that particular commit ID to investigate further. So if I want to check this, I will copy this commit ID and I will say git show and that particular commit ID, and here I will get all the details of what exactly was changed and who has changed when and exactly what happened. So here you can see this was the earlier state and this was then changed to this, and you can also see all those resolve merge conflicts, and then this was done. Okay, similarly if I say git blame login.txt and I take this and say git show and then do this, you can see this is what was done here. So you will get all the details and then you can decide what we have to do, what action we have to take, so you can do that. Okay, all right. Now let us come to git restore. And git restore, we have already seen that whenever you accidentally delete a file or change something in the file and you want to restore it, you can use git restore. And it's not that if you have committed it, even then you can restore it. We have seen that. So let's see the steps. So we have seen this git restore while learning how can you recover deleted files, but here we are going to see what all we can do, and we can also recover deleted data from a file. So let's say if you modify something in a file and then you save it and you have not yet staged or committed it, you can just run git restore and the file name, and that will bring back the deleted part in the file. Okay, and you can open and check this. We have already seen. Then so see, git restore you can use when you want to discard local uncommitted changes in one or more files and return them to the last committed state. So you can use that, and it will only affect uncommitted changes. It does not delete commits. However, still if you want to bring back a file from an earlier commit, you can do that, and we have seen that earlier. You can use commands like, you can say, just if you have not staged any file and you bring back the changes or the deleted files, you will say git restore and whatever is the file name, let's say hello.txt. In case you have already committed, in case you have already staged, that means you have already added to the staged area and then you want to bring back the changes that you have deleted, either a file or some things in the files you have deleted, you will say -- staged and the file name, and then you will again have to run the command git restore and the file name. And if you have also committed the changes after deleting something, the file or the data, in that case you will say git restore -- source equals, and then you have to restore the file from an earlier commit when it was there in our repository. So you can either say the ID of the commit, you can take the ID by saying git log and copy the ID and give it here, so it will restore the file from that commit, or you can also say head -1, head -2, and so on. Okay, so when we run the command git log So you can see these are the commit IDs, and our head is the last commit, head -1 is the previous commit, head -2 is this commit, head -3 is this commit, and so on. Okay, so this is what you can do. Now let's come to Git reset. So what is Git reset? Okay, now it is like going in the backward direction. It is going to rewind our commit history. Okay, instead of creating new history, it's going to rewind it. And when do we want to use it? So let us try this demo first. I will create a new file and commit it. Let me just check we have a clean working tree. Yes, I will create a new file and I will call it as, let's say, hello1.txt. I will say this is a demo file, save it, commit it, git add dot git commit -m and give a commit message, added hello1.txt. And now if I run git status, we have a clean working tree. Now let us say I will say git reset --soft head -1. Now with git reset we have three options. We have soft, hard and mixed. Mixed is the default option, so if you do not use any option, that means it is mixed. Otherwise we can say soft or hard. Now what does it mean? So before that, just understand, and I just want to confirm because we have already discussed, head -1 means the previous commit then the last commit. So our last commit is head. When I say git log, so our last commit is the head, then this previous commit is head -1, this one is head -2. So you can refer these commit whenever you want to refer to any of these commits. You can either refer by their commit IDs or by their this is the commit ID, which is the SHA number, a unique number, or you can say head, head -1, head -2, head -3 and so on. Okay, so generally if you have to go 3 or 4 levels back to the commit history and you know which one you want to go, you can easily use head -1, head -2, head -3. But going back a lot in the history, then it's definitely you can prefer the IDs here. Okay, now if I say git reset --soft head -1, okay, I say git reset --soft head -1 and hit enter. Okay, and if I now say git status, so you can see our file has now come to the staged area and it is no longer committed. So I had already committed my file. So you can see here I had already committed my file, and after that when I ran git status, everything was clean, there was nothing to commit. But after running this command git reset, I am getting this. After running this command git reset, after running this, my file has come back from committed area to the staged area. Okay, so this is what has happened. So we have seen the commit has disappeared, the file is still there in our working directory as well, and it is here. Okay, file is still here, and but it is not yet committed, and it is not yet unstaged as well. It is still staged but not committed. All right, so head is our current commit, then one commit before is head -1, head -2, head -3. So what we did here, when we say reset to head -1, so now whatever was committed in this particular commit, that is head -1, is there in the committed area. Whatever was not committed until here has gone from the committed area, has gone back or is now reset, and it has moved back to the staging area. So what we did here, whatever we did, as of now we have just added and committed a file hello1.txt, but it can be more changes. Whatever the changes you have done will come back to the staging area and they will no longer be committed. All right. So here, understand this with this example that you have made 4 commits A, B, C, D, and this is your commit history. You did, this is the first commit, then you did commit B, commit C, commit D. Our head is always on the last commit, so this is our head. When we say head -1, when we say head, we refer to this last commit. When we say head -1, we refer to this. When we say head -2, we refer to this. When we say head -3, we refer to this. Okay. Now, if you want to go back to C, you will say head -1. When you want to go back to B, you will say head -2, and so on. Okay. So when we say git reset head -1, this is what it will go. So whatever is committed here will be there in the commit, and everything else that you did after that will go back to the staging area in case it is a soft reset. Okay. Now what will happen with the hard reset, that we will discuss. So soft reset, commit is removed, and commit is removed in all the cases whether it is a soft, mixed or hard reset, and that is why we are doing reset. That means we are moving back in the commit history, we are rewinding the history. In case of soft, changes are still kept, so we still have all the changes that we have done. It's just that the changes have now gone from the commit history or the commit that we have, and the changes are still staged. Okay, that's why we saw here our file is still staged. It's just that it's not committed but still staged, and we can now stage it. Okay. Now you may think and get a question that why will this be ever needed? When will this be needed? So I will tell you that in a moment, but just for now understand this. In case of soft, what will happen if we do a mixed reset? If in case of soft we say mixed, in that case commit is removed and then changes are still there, but then changes are no longer in the stage area as well, so they will go back to untracked changes. And in case of hard, commit will be removed and then changes will also be removed, and then they will no longer be staged as well. And when we say changes removed, that means even from your working directory. So this is where when we say this column changes kept, this means in your working directory, in your local repository, your local working directory. So in case of hard, it will also go away from your local. Okay, so that's why we say we should always use this hard reset with caution. Now when we will need it, okay, so let's think that you have commit something, let's say add login, and then you realize I forgot to add another file which may be a helper file or which may be a dependent file, and it should go along with this file, along with this change in this commit. So now instead of creating another tiny commit, you say so after you commit this, you will again create another tiny commit and say forgot login data in that commit. Instead of doing this, you can just run git reset hard, and then this is git reset soft. So this will uncommit your last commit, that means it will come back from the commit, and then you can add more files, whatever you want to add, and then stage all those and commit it again. Okay, so our hello.txt file is already in the staged area. I can now add more files or whatever I want to change, make some changes, stage those changes, and then along with hello.txt I will commit everything. Okay, so this can be a real world scenario why do you want to use a soft reset? Okay, let's also see what can be the other scenarios. So let's say if I go to chat and say when will we use this git reset soft head -1, what are real world scenarios? Okay, so you can see one of the scenarios can be you have committed but you realize that you have given a wrong commit message, and it is not a, either it's a wrong commit message or it is not a meaningful commit message. So you can just do a git reset soft and then commit again with a meaningful message. Or the other scenario can be you committed too much, so you have made multiple changes in multiple files and you committed everything, and then you realize that I should have committed this separately. So in that case also you can say git reset soft, and then all the changes will be staged again and you can selectively commit. So you can say git restore staged, and whatever file you want to restore, we have already seen the restore command, and then you can commit one by one whatever you want. Okay, so you can just reset, remove last commit, and you can do that. Okay, also we have already seen that in case you want to add more data, more files in this commit, so you can again do this. Okay, so soft only moves your head, it doesn't touch your staged changes or working files. We have already seen this. Okay, so we have seen when you want to do git reset soft, one is this scenario that you want to commit more files in the single commit along with what you have already committed, or you have committed too much and you want to bring it back and commit one by one. You may want to change your commit message. All these are scenarios you can use git reset soft for. Okay, now you can we have already seen this. So before git reset soft, your changes are committed are already in the staged area and also in your local repository working directory, and after doing git reset soft, the only changes, your changes will be reversed from the commit area. They will come back from the commit area to the staging area, but will still be staged and still be there in your working directory. Okay, so let's try this question, and before I tell you the answer, you can just pause and check what should be the answer. The question is, after running git reset --soft head 1, where are your changes? Are they deleted completely? Are they only in the repository or still in the staging area and working directory? And of course we know the answer is still in staging area and working directory, because soft will only move the head, it will not touch your staged changes or your local working files. Okay, let's go to git reset mixed and imagine a scenario that you have staged 5 files and also committed them, and later your lead or manager says please split this into 2 commits. Now what do you want to do? You don't want to lose your work, you just want this, that these files are come back from the commit and also are unstaged, so that you can again stage and commit them in 2 separate commits. Okay, so that is exactly when you can use this git reset with mixed option. Okay, so you can create new file and commit it and check the commit history by saying git log one line, and then so see, mixed is the default option. So when you do not use any option with git reset, it is the mixed option. So let's see if you let me just confirm. I will first commit this, or I can just use my last command I used for committing. Okay, and let me check git status. Everything is clean. I will create a new file. I will call it hello2.txt, and this is a demo file, and I will stage and commit it. I will say git add dot git commit -m added hello2.txt. okay, git status, everything is clean. Okay, and if I say git log one line, and this is our commit is here. All right, now I will say git reset head -1. So git reset mixed or git reset is same thing. I will say git reset head -1. Now let's see what happens. I will say git reset head -1, and as I do this, now see my hello.txt is still here in the working directory, but if I run git status now, you will see it has now untracked. That means it is still not added to the staging area, so it has gone from the commit as well from the staging area. Okay, so this is why, this is what happens with git reset mixed. So file is no longer staged like it was in soft reset. Okay, so we know that, so this part is same for both soft and mixed. Before running this git reset soft and before running git reset mixed, we had all our changes committed. After running soft, only the commit was gone, or the changes were gone from the commit. But after running git reset mixed, the changes are no longer in commit and no longer in the staged area as well. It is only in our local working directory. Okay, also if I run the command git log, you can see our commit for adding hello2.txt is now gone, and our last commit has, or our head has moved to the previous commit, which was head -1 earlier, but now this is the new head where we added hello1.txt. All right, so this we have already seen this table. Okay, so this is what happened. After running mixed, commit was removed, changes are kept, but changes are no longer staged. Okay, so again let us check this quiz. After running git reset head -1, where are your files? Are they deleted? Are they still staged? Are they in the working directory only? So this is should be the right option. Another quiz, so make sure that you think and get the answer before I tell you. Which command leaves your changes staged? Okay, so it is saying which command will leave your changes in the staging directory or in the staging area. So is it git reset mixed? No, because in case of mixed, it will go away from the staging area as well. Git reset is also not the answer, because git reset and git reset mixed are same thing. When we do not use any option, that means it is mixed. So the answer is git reset soft. Okay. All right, now let us see git reset hard. Now why do you want to do this? Now imagine you are working in your project and you modify, let's say, a lot of files, 30 files, and you check with it and nothing works. Now you do not want to manually undo every file or manually delete every file. You can just do git reset hard, so that will instantly return your working directory to your last committed stage, or last whatever was there, whatever was the stage of your directory with the last commit. It will just take it back there. Okay, and you can select which commit you want to go back to. Okay, so here use it with caution, because this will also remove your changes from your local working directory as well. It will remove from commit, it will remove from staging, and also from your working directory. Okay, so let us try this. Before that, let me just run git status, and here we will have this untracked file because it has, after running git reset, it has come back to the working directory. I will just stage and commit it. Okay, I will say this is added hello2.txt, and now if I run git status, everything is clean. So let us create another file now called, I will call it hello3.txt, and you can add something. This is a demo file, and I will say git status and git add. Now if I say git status, it is staged. Now I will say git commit -m added hello3.txt and git status, everything is fine. Git log --one line, and we can see this is our last commit. This is where our head is. All right, now if I say we have done all this, now if I say git reset hard, and we can move to head -1. So git, now see, if we do not use anything, if we just say git reset hard, so then git will assume that we just want to reset to the current to the last commit. So it will take head by default, and if we have to go back to any earlier commit, we have to explicitly say head -1, head -2, or the commit ID. So see, if I say git reset hard, you will not see anything happening actually, because after doing this, after committing this, we have not made any changes. I will say git reset --hard. Okay, so you can see head is now at this, which is also, you can see this is where our head is. So when I say git reset hard, head has not moved because this was already our last commit, and nothing happens in my local directory as well. But just imagine if I make some more changes in my local directory after committing. I'll just add some more files. Now see, I have added so many of these files, copy of hello 1, 2, 3, 4, all these files, and not yet committed. And now if I say git reset hard, so what happens? You can see here head is now in this particular commit, which is already my last commit. Okay, now what if I say, now see, I have done a lot of changes, I have added a lot of files, and due to some reason I don't want these, I want to delete it, or I want to go back to a particular commit point, let's say this one, where I did not had hello3 also and all these different things. In that case, I can say git reset hard and can give head -1 or that particular commit ID. So I will say git reset hard, and I will say head -1, and when I run this, you can see here now my head is moved to this particular point where we added hello2.txt. But if you see here, so see, if you see here, we still have a lot of other files. So you can see hello3.txt has gone, but all the things that I have done after that, which are not yet staged and committed, are still there. Okay, but let's say I will say git status, and I will just stage and commit all these changes. Now see, as of now I'm just giving any commit message, but always give meaningful commit messages. Okay, now if I also run my git log one line, you can see it is here, but now I want to go back here also in my working directory. So I will say git reset, and I will say let me just type it, git reset hard head -1. So as I run this, you will see all those files are gone from here also, as well as if I say git status, they are not in the staging area as well. So everything is clean. Okay, so this is how you can use it, and this is the scenario when you may want to use it. Okay, and you can also see this before part is same for every reset soft mixed hard, but after hard you can see everything is gone. Your commits are no longer there that you have committed, staging area also it is gone, and from working directory also they are gone. Okay, so this is how we use git reset. Okay, let us try this. You modified 12 files and you have not committed. You want to throw away every change. Which command is appropriate? So whether it is Git Restore, Git Reset Soft, Git Reset Hard. Now think carefully. It is saying you have modified 12 files, not yet committed, and you just want to throw away all the changes. So in this case, you can just use Git Reset Hard. Okay. Again, this question, after git reset --hard head -1, which statement is true? File remain staged? No. Only head moves, but not only head moves, but the staging area is cleared and the working directory is also reset to match the new head. Okay, so this is the correct answer. All right, so if you can now answer this. What's the difference between Git Restore and Git Reset Hard? Git Restore discards changes in specific files without changing the commit history. So if you remember, when we were using Git Restore, we were not changing the commit history, we were only discarding the changes, and that too in specific files. But Git Reset Hard will move our head, that means it will change the commit history and also resets both the staging area and the working directory to match that particular head or that particular commit. All right, so it is much more powerful and should be used carefully. Okay, all right, so here we have done all this. Now you can answer these questions: what head is and what Git reset actually does. So what is head? It is our last commit, and if you want to go to the previous commits, we can say head -1, head -2, head -3, or we can refer the commit with the commit ID. And the last commit, if you want to refer, we can just refer by head or its commit ID. Okay, you know the difference between Git Reset Soft, Mixed and Hard, and which one to use in different situations. Okay, now again there will be a quiz. You can get the quiz link from the description and take the quiz, and let me know the score in the comments. And please take these quizzes, because see, these quizzes are created very logically and with the keeping the real world scenarios in mind. So when you run these quizzes after doing practical hands-on with the sessions we are doing, you will understand why we are doing this, when we do this. It will also test your practical knowledge, and along with that it will help you to refresh the topics we have just done. All right, so let us now go to a very interesting topic called Git RefLog. Okay, so let's say you have deleted something, some commits, you have lost some commits. Is there a way to bring it back and The answer is yes, and that is when we will use Git RefLog. So let's imagine you have completed 3 commits and you accidentally run Git Reset Hard head -2. That means you have now rewinded your commit history, and whatever was there in head -2 becomes your new head, and whatever you did after that is now gone, deleted, it is reset. Okay, now you realize that you want to bring it back, and can you recover them? So that's exactly when you can use Git RefLog. Okay, and see, Git RefLog is very interesting. So when we say Git log, you can see all your commit histories and with along with their commit IDs. So you can check here. If I whenever I run this command, we have seen this multiple times. Whenever I run Git log, you can see all this log history is there. All these commit history are there. But what if we have executed Git Reset Hard and the commit is also gone from our logs? So after running Git Reset Hard, when you check your logs, you will not see those commits which are now deleted. In that case, we can use Git RefLog, and Git RefLog is like a CCTV camera for your repository. It has everything it has captured, whatever you have done in your repository, whatever commits you have done, it captures everything, even the deletion part it will capture and keep it in its memory. But one thing is important, that you can use Git RefLog to recover deleted commits until a period of time, because once Git runs its garbage collection, which is generally after 90 days, if it is beyond that time, you may not be able to use Git RefLog for those particular changes which are now also deleted from the history or from the memory. So before that, you can always recover them. Let us see how. So as I told you, if Git log is Git's history book, Git RefLog is like its CCTV camera. So it captures everything, and even if you accidentally deletes any commits by saying Git Reset Hard, Git RefLog can often help you recover them. Often means in case it is within the time until the garbage collection has happened, which is generally 90 days. Okay, let's create a file and do 3 commits. So I will do 3 commits in a file. I will say create a file, just making sure my working directory is clean, and yes, I will create a file and let's call it new file 1, and I will say edit version 1, and I will just add and commit. I will say git status, I will say git add, git commit -m new file 1 version added version 1, and done. Now I again do some changes after this commit. I am again saying added version 2, and I will again say git status, and again say git add, and then again say commit git commit -m new file 1 added version 2. Alright, now I will again make some changes, added version 3, save and close this file, and here I will say git add, and then git commit -m new file 1 added version 3. Okay, if I run git status, everything is clean. So if I see the project history, the commit history, git log one line, so you can see all this is now added. So this was our commit when we added version 1, then we added version 2, and this is the last commit where we added version 3. Okay, now we have also seen the log. Now let's say by mistake we have done git reset hard and moved to head -2. So now you can imagine what is our head -2. This is our head. Okay, this is our head. This is our last commit. Head is here. This is head -1 and this is head -2. So if I go to head -2, that means my working directory and everything will move to this commit or this particular level where I had added the new file and added version 2, but my version 2 and 3 should go away if I do git reset hard here. So I will say git reset hard and I will say head -2. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm going to do. So if I now run this, so you can see head is now at this, which was head -2 earlier, is our new head now. You can just also verify by running git log one line, and you can see this is our new head now where we added version 1 in the file. And if I want to check, I will open the file and you can now see we just have version 1 changes and version 2 and 3 are gone. Okay, now you realize that I want the lost commits back. So let's now run git reflog. So I will say here, let us say, I will say git reflog. Now when you run this command, you can see here running this command, it actually gives us kind of a log, but it is not exactly what we see in when we run git log. It is something different. So it has everything that we have done, including the reset things, including the deleted commits, everything it has. So you can see this is our head. Okay, and then this is what we did by doing git reset hard. This was what we have lost, but it's still there in git reflog because it is like a CCTV camera. It has everything, whatever we have done it captures. Okay, and then it also says that we have reset moving to head -2. Okay, so we have everything. Now we can pick what we want, and then we can again do git reset hard by using either the commit ID or we can just use the head reference. So let us say this is where we want to now reset, where we had added version 3. So either we can use this commit ID or we can also use the git reflog reference, which is head@1 in curly brackets. So both will work. So now I can say I will press Q to come out, and I can say git reset hard, git reset hard, and I will either copy the commit ID or this, and I will run this. Now you can see it is now again moving the head is now at this, and if you want to check by running git log, you can now see again we have got back the changes. So this is what we lost, and now we have recovered this. And to check, I will check my file, and we have got the changes we did in version 2 and 3 have also come back. Okay, so now everything is back, and this is how we can use git reflog. Okay, so again there is a quiz based on this. Please take the quiz and let me know your score in the comments. Okay, now a very interesting demo on Git Revert, and here Okay, I am not sure if the recording is okay. All right, so let's see this scenario. Uh, you are on your last, this is your last commit and your head is here, and you have pushed your commit to GitHub or your online repository, whether it is GitHub, Bitbucket, Azure. Now everything is good, but sometime later your team says that login feature is breaking in production. Now in this case, can you run Git Reset Hard and go back to any particular commit? It is not recommended. Why? Because you have already pushed your changes to the shared repository, to the remote repository, and others may have pulled from the remote repository. So now if you try to do this Git Reset Hard, it can break other changes as well. So it is not recommended. Now in this case, you can try Git Revert. Now what it will do, it will not remove a commit. Instead, it will create a new commit that will reverse the changes made by the earlier commit. Okay. So see, we are not going back in the commit history now. We are going forward, and by going forward, we are actually reversing the change of an earlier commit. Okay, so let's imagine when you say git revert D, it is not moving back but moving forward. It is creating another commit E, which will undo everything you did in commit D. Okay. So let's see this with a demo and you will understand it. Let's create a new file and commit it. I'll just confirm that everything is clean. I'll say git status, everything is clean. I will create a new file and let's call it new file for demo, and you can add something. This is a new file and I will commit it. Git add git commit -m new file demo added, and if I run git status, everything is clean. Alright, now if I check the git history, I will say the commit history, I will say git log -- one line. You can see we have this as our head, the last commit. Now I will again modify the file and commit again. So let's just say this is line 2, and I will commit this as well. I will say git status and git add, and I will say git commit -m updated new file demo. Okay, and if I run git status, everything is clean. And if I now run git log one line, you can now see here, this is what we have. Here we added and now we have updated. This is our last commit. Okay, now let's say I want to revert the last commit. So in this case, I can say git revert head or git revert commit ID. Okay, this is my last commit, which is always the head, and this is what I want to revert. So I can use just head or say use the commit ID. So let's say I will say git revert head. Okay, I will press Q to come out and I will say git revert head and hit enter. Now you can see here when I say git revert head, we have to add and explain why we are doing this. So you can see some things are already added. It says this reverts this particular commit, and it is going to revert updated new file demo. This is what we had committed. Please enter a commit message for your change, and here you can press I to go to the insert mode, and you can add something. I will just say reverting, and then press escape on your keyboard. Then you can press colon WQ exclamation, or just press WQ, that means write and quit, and press enter, and this is now reverted. Let us now see what happened. If I check my new file demo, you can see it is now reverted. The line I added in the last commit has gone. And if I now check my log, you can now see my earlier commit is still there, and the latest commit is actually reverting my earlier commit. Okay, so this is what we are using Git Revert for. Okay, so you can see you still have all the earlier commits, but whatever I want to revert has reverted. Okay, so see, when you have not you have your local branch not pushed yet, you can do git reset. But if you have already pushed your changes, it is in your push in your repository, online repository, and you want to revert something, then it's often recommended to use git revert. Okay, so let's see if you can answer this. You accidentally pushed a bad commit to main. Which command is usually the safer choice? Git reset hard? No, because you have already pushed and it can break the changes. Git revert head or git restore? So we know you can use git revert head here. And why? We know now, because it will preserve the history and will safely undo the changes with a new commit. All right. Okay, let us do a very interesting topic, Git Stash. So let's say in the morning you are working on a feature branch, you have checked out a feature branch to work on a login feature, but in the afternoon your manager says that there is a production issue in the checkout, so fix checkout production issue. So what do you do is, you are already working on your feature branch, so you can stash all the things that you are doing. You can stash your work by using git stash, and then switch to the branch where you have to fix that particular issue. And once you are done, you have committed and pushed, you can then switch back to your feature branch and say git stash pop. It will bring back whatever you are doing, and then you can continue from there. Okay, so let's see, once we do a demo, you will understand this. So you can imagine another scenario that you are halfway through implementing a playwright feature or any feature, and you are working on a feature branch. Nothing is committed yet, you are still working on it. Suddenly you have to, due to some reason, you have to come out of that branch and fix something else. It's a production issue or something, so you can't commit your half finished work. So instead of just leaving it there or committing half finished work, and you don't want to lose it, so you can just stash your work by using git stash, and then you can, after doing other work, you can come back and say git pop, and you can continue where you left. Okay, so it's just like putting your unfinished work or your current work in a temporary locker, and then coming back and taking back and continuing from there. Okay, so there are some analogies if you want, that working desk, half written report, notebook, coffee cup, calculator. Your boss says clear your desk and come to a meeting. You put everything in a drawer, you don't organize everything, you just put everything in a drawer, and then later you open your drawer and continue from where you left. So here your drawer is like a stash where you are putting everything and then bringing it back and continuing from there. Okay, so let's create and modify a file. I will say you can call it anything. So I'll just create, let me just confirm my working tree is clean, and yes, I will create a new file. I'll just call it, I'll just say stash demo. Okay, and I will say working on something interesting, and I'm going to just, if I say git status, it is there. Let's say I will also stage this. I will say git add, but I will not yet commit it, so it's there in the staged area. Now let's say I have to, due to any reason, I have to move away from this branch and do something else. So I will, before going away, I will run the command git stash. So I will say git stash, and let's see. So what happens is saved working directory and index or this particular, so don't worry about this. So here it is saying updated new file demo, so it has gone there, and you can see my file has also gone to the stash. And now if I say git status, you can see I have a clean working tree because all my work that I was doing is now stashed. Okay, if I can also check, I can say git stash list. If I run this command, you can see this is what is there in the stash. Okay, now I will say get stash pop. So after you have finished with the other work, you can come back again and get your work back by saying git stash pop, and you will see what happens here. I will say git stash pop, and as I hit enter, you can see my file has come back here. All the work I was doing before I ran git stash has now come back here, and I can also just check the status. You can see I have this file here. Okay, so I can do this thing, and sometimes you may want to apply the stash but keep a copy, so you can also do git stash apply. Okay, so when you say apply, so when you say pop, it is like apply and remove the stash, but if you still want to keep a copy in the stash, you can say git stash apply. It will apply but keep the stash also. So see, if I now run git stash list, you can see this is clean. So if you also want to keep a copy, you can say git stash apply. Okay, and if you want to delete the stash, you can just say git stash drop or git stash clear to remove all stashes. It will remove all the stashes, so use this carefully. All right. Okay, so we now know the purpose of git stash. It will temporarily save the uncommitted changes and put it in a stash where it will be safe. You can continue with your other work, and whenever you want, you can come back and do git stash pop or git stash apply. It will bring back all your uncommitted changes, and then you can continue your work. Okay, so all these commands, remember, whenever you want to discard uncommitted changes in a file or recover deleted files, we use git restore along with the file name. And there are different scenarios. If you have not staged it and it's still in the working directory, only in the working directory, you can just say git restore file name. If it is staged, you can say -- staged command -- stage option with git restore. If it is also committed, then you can also refer to the commit ID and recover it. And undo local commits and rewrite history, we say git reset. If you want to safely undo a pushed commit, we use git revert, and temporarily save unfinished work, we use git stash. Now don't worry if this is something you are finding a little challenging to get everything in a single go, watch this multiple times, do hands-on multiple times, and then you will understand everything, and then you will remember everything. You will not have to find out or search, okay, for this particular thing what I have to do, but you have to do hands-on multiple times for that. Okay, so this question, check this question. I'm not going to tell you the answer, and give me the answer in the comment section. You are working on a playwright feature, halfway through production goes down, what would you do? So what you will do, you can just check and let me know in the comment section. These are all the commands we have done, and a lot more than this, so remember this. You can also just try to remember what will this command do, what will this command do. You can try to tell yourself and then check what you're understanding, is it correct or not. And again, there's a quiz, do the quiz and let me know your score in the comments. I will see you soon. Please do hands-on, and whenever you face any issues, please let me know. I will look at all your comments and answer you, so you can tell me anything you are facing. I will see you soon. Thank you for watching, and never stop learning.